Hey everyone, Oddball Goodman coming back at you with a new video. This one I'm going to compare 375 versus 308. I'm going to give you guys some velocities and I'm going to have some fun blowing up some 2-liter bottles. It's the cheapo Sam's Diet Cola. You may not see a whole lot of me shooting. I've already got everything set up. So what I've got set up in the 375 SOCOM is 137 grain is going to be the first bullet. I'm going to go ahead and give you the velocity on that one immediately afterwards. After that, I've got a 165 grain. And then after that, I've got a 200 grain. Following that, I've got a 220 grain. And following that, I have a 250 grain. You heard me right, a 250 grain. Now, mind you, all of these are going to be supersonic. The main reason why I'm doing this test is because with all of those, they are supersonic. When you start loading up a 308, about the highest you're going to get is a 180 grain before you start going subsonic. So that's the primary reason for setting this up, testing this out, to see velocities, and then a quick little comparison. I do have a 308. It's going to be a 16-inch barrel, so slight difference in comparison. This is an 18-inch barrel with the 375 SOCOM. Just, for clarification for anybody who's wanting to know. Quick disclaimer, this is a private range out here on my own personal land. And obviously I'm shooting in a safe direction where I can obviously see there's no cattle, there's nobody that can possibly be harmed with these rounds. So quick disclaimer on that one. Anyways, I've already got this set up to where I'm already aimed at the first one. I'm going to start from the left and then I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to see if I can zoom in real quick so we can see what we're doing to these 2 liters, because this is going to be the fun part. And I want you guys to enjoy this with me as I pop these bottles. All right. Like I said, 137 grain coming at you first. Gonna have to take it off of safe, but I've already got it loaded up. So, first bottle. Woohoo! 2588 feet per second. All right. So I should have the 165 grain in there next. And as I've stated in other videos, kind of in the additional information or in the comments, I'm having issues with this, with the buffer spring. So for some reason it's giving me a dead trigger when I'm loading these in. So I'm just going to reload it into the magazine. Always give it a nice good pop. Make sure it's in there. All right. 165 grainer. Well, that didn't make sense. There was a click and it definitely hit the striker from the sounds of it. Oh, it didn't load all the way. That's what happened. All right, he went in that time. Okay, 165 grainer. That was awesome. All right, that one was 2369.8 feet per second. And hopefully the 200 grain loaded up in that. and it looks like that bottle flew directly into the middle, right in front of the next one. But oh well, I'm still going to hit it with this 200 grainer if I don't get a dead trigger, which obviously I did. So I did order a new buffer spring. It's on the way. And for anybody who's curious, this does not have an adjustable gas block. So I will be getting one in the future for this and swapping it out. Nonetheless, 200 grainer. Let's pop that soda. Oh, did it not load? It did not load. It did that time. All right. 200 grainer. Heck yeah. All right. The velocity on that one was 2199.1 feet per second. That's almost 2200 feet per second. Wow. That is almost 2200 feet per second with a 200 grain projectile. Yeah, 308 is definitely not going to be able to do that with a 200 grainer. So I did have an issue with that one. So obviously the 220 grainer did not load, but go ahead and put it back in this mag. All right, I'll swap this around a little bit, and go for this. I feel like I'm missing a bottle. Oh no, I just moved him around a little bit. All right, I'm gonna get the one that's on the right side of that tire with this one. Oh, I gotta load it in first. Man, that bottle popped so good. All right, so the next one is going to be a 250 grain projectile. Oh yeah, the velocity on that one for that 220 grain, 1837 feet per second. Yeah, at that point you're completely subsonic for 308. So completely subsonic, max 1050 feet per second with a 220 grain. And I know there are some newer loadings, newer offerings for 300 blackout and 308 in the 135 grain and a 140 grain. That's primarily with a 1-5 twist, which I think that's actually a really cool hunting option if you want to go quiet with a 308 or the 300 blackout. But I'm kind of liking this bigger caliber, the 375. Let me see if I can pop one of these with the 250 grainers. And it looks like another dead trigger. So it did load. Nonetheless, I have a feeling it's going to drop just a tiny bit, so I'm going to hold high on that left bottle. And Still dead trigger. Put it back in the mag. Man, it'd be nice if one of the local stores had the buffer spring that I was trying to get. What in the world? Did it not pick up the round? It did not pick up the round. Okay. Now it's in there. Got it. Woohoo! All right. 250 grain projectile going 1714 feet per second. 1,714.9 feet per second for a 250 grainer. 308 is not going to do that. Yeah, 308 is not going to do that. That is quite impressive. So let me switch to a 308 since I've been talking about it. And since it looks like I've already gone through all of my bottles, all but one, I'm going to save the 180 grainer for that one, because that one's going to be a soft point. Now, mind you, I've already got this loaded and chambered, but it's still on safe. So, take it off safe. I'm just going to shoot the 150 grainer into the dirt. The velocity on that one was 2614 feet per second. And then, let's do this 180 grainer. That was awesome. So that 180 grainer was going 2462.9 feet per second. Yeah, that's neat. Man, I'm not gonna lie, this was a fun video, so I hope you guys like it as much as I did. The carnage down there, downrange, phenomenal. Carnage, woo-wee. All right, I'm gonna zoom this back to where we can see me and the chronograph. Yeah, it's gonna be all over the place if we go by what it says on there, because it's got the 7 shots, and it's comical. Minimum 1714 feet per second. And like I said, that was going to be the 375 SOCOM 250 grain Barnes TTSX. And then the max was 2614.8 feet per second. I believe that was the 150 grain 308. So you've got a little bit of everything in between. So why 375 SOCOM over 308? In my opinion, more bullet weight options, as well as a little bit more versatility. Also, it's in an AR-15, which is going to be lighter than your AR-10. Now, I do have a lightweight BCG in my 308, so it gives it just a slight bit of an edge over your standard BCG and weight. But yeah, I really like the 375 SOCOM for a good hunting projectile, as well as just an overall shooting experience. It's definitely slightly better in recoil in comparison to the 308. But so if you were to compare, say for instance, 450 Bushmaster versus the 308, the 450 Bushmaster is going to have more recoil. 458 SOCOM, it might have more recoil as well. You're going to be pushing slightly heavier projectiles out of that as well. Now, that being said, 375 SOCOM, you can go quiet with some 325 grain bullets. So I will be looking into getting something similar to that in the very near future. In fact, Blessed Blamo, they're already working on something for me for a 300 grain, not a 325 grain yet. But Stay tuned. I'm going to have that in the future. Y'all be blessed. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.